If you struggle to close high ticket sales on just one call, it has nothing to do with your offer or the value that you guys are going to provide, but it has everything to do with your sales skills. After closing more than $1 million worth of high ticket sales, there's some nuances and some ninja sales tactics that you must know, learn, and understand if you want to be able to close high ticket deals in just one call. There are 4 skills that every closer must master if they want to be able to close on one call without any awkwardness, without pressure, or without feeling like you're trying to convince someone of something. Once you understand these 4 skills, people are going to want to buy from you simply because they want to, not because they feel like they're being sold. Sales isn't something you do to people, it's something that you do for people. So, this is how I went from constantly needing to book follow up calls, which 75% of the time the people don't actually show up to closing around 80% of my calls in just one call. Today, you're going to learn what the 4 skills are and how to master them so you can use it on your next sales call. Step number 1 is to be a real person. The biggest mistake that I see closers making is that they're trying to sound professional instead of sounding just like you're a real chick talking to somebody else, seeing if you can help. I always tell my girls inside my academy, stop using your news anchor voice, stop using your customer service voice, stop using your mom voice, and just talk like a normal person. Talk like you were chatting with your best friend. If you come off as trying to sound like a professional, it causes the other person to put their walls up and it causes sales resistance. People are smart these days. People have been on sales calls before. They can smell out a desperate salesperson who's following a script and really only cares about getting a commission. So throw away the script, stop sounding like a robot, and just show up on the call as a regular person. Just introduce yourself, ask where they're from, see how they're doing, and just let them know the point of this call. I just want to see like where you're at, what your goals are, and see if we can possibly help you. And if we can, then we'll talk about it. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for being on the call today. My ultimate goal is to see if this is an aligned fit both ways. And if, like, no, just stop using those words. Just be like, just want to see what's going on with you, see if we can possibly help. And if we feel like this is a good fit, then we'll talk about the next steps. When I stopped trying to impress people or sound like a business professional, my close rate skyrocketed. Step number 2 is to be curious and always listen to the other person. I know it sounds a little bit obvious, but most closers do not go deep enough by asking curiosity questions. And if you only get to the surface level with people, they're not going to buy from you. So the first thing that you want to do is always listen for certain words that they use, and then you repeat the word back to them and ask them to go a layer deeper. So for example, if somebody tells you, I'm just feeling really discouraged, XYZ happened, you want to take the word that they used and ask them to go deeper using a curious tone. So it's going to sound like this. Discouraged. Okay, that's a really big word that you just used. Do you mind if we go a layer deeper? Can you tell me what was discouraging about it? And then they're going to go deeper and then they're going to tell you a specific story of why they feel discouraged. When it comes to being curious and asking the right questions, you never, ever, 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 ever in sales want to tell someone something. The best salespeople know how to spin it around and phrase it as a question so that it's coming out of the other person's mouth. So if the other person tells you, oh, that they've been burned in the past, instead of telling them, well, you can't let the past hold you back from taking a step forward in the future, you want to flip that around and ask a question so that they can be the one saying it. So it could sound something like this. If we keep holding on to this sour taste from the past, then how are we ever going to get a better outcome? Or if we keep holding on to the past, where's that going to lead you? And 6 months down the road, 6 years down the road, are you willing to settle for that? Why? See how now they're the ones that's telling me? Outdated sales techniques and masculine sales teaches you to jump to solutions and really help the other person with the solution. But that doesn't work because when you rush to try to like fix something or tell someone something, you're basically telling the other person that you know better than them. And that builds massive sales resistance and their walls are going to go straight out. So this is why being curious and being a really good listener will build trust faster than any testimonial or credentials ever will. If the reason that you're feeling stagnant in your life is because you feel like it's going to take so much time, you're going to have to jump through so many hoops, you're going to have to learn so much to completely change your life. Inside of my High Ticket Sales Academy, I help women land jobs in 30, 60, or 90 days. Most of my students make between $10,000 and $20,000 a month, and they close on one call. And most of them that started had absolutely zero sales experience. If you are ready to stop waiting and to finally step into this next version of you, there's a link below where you can book a free call with me or my team. Step 3 is to remove all sales pressure. We are not here to convince. We are not here to talk anyone into anything. So no matter what objection you get, the first thing that you want to do is always sit back, take a nice deep breath, and just diffuse and disarm the situation. And this is how you do that. So they give you an objection. It's too much money, or I need to think about it. The first thing that you always do is you just sit back. Yeah, that's no problem at all. That's what you want to do first and foremost. If they say they need to think about it, a smoke screen and it's not acceptable, but before we challenge them, you just want to sit back and just go, okay, yeah, that's no problem at all. Take all the time that you need to think about it. And then we're going to go into a curiosity question. So when they say they need to think about it, you just want to get curious. You go, okay, yeah, that's no problem at all. It's not uncommon that people say that. When it comes to you needing to think about it, what exactly do you mean, just so I can understand? It's like you're just having a conversation with them. Because like they could be thinking about the price. They could be thinking about something with the program. They could have just bought a house. And so they're thinking about the funds. They don't like, you just need to get clarity on what part it is that they need to think about. And the only way that you're going to get clarity is if you completely remove the sales pressure and just let them know, of course, like, yeah, you can do whatever you need. That's no problem. And lastly, when it comes to the close, I'm going to give you some tips on how to close in an empowering way. You always want to get a tie down, which means everything else aside, like money aside, husband aside, time aside, all that aside. Do they actually believe that your program is going to get them XYZ result that they want? Because that's the most important thing, right? Like if they have any sort of fear or uncertainty that they're actually going to get the results that they're seeking, they're not going to buy. So we got to find out how confident they are about what we covered with them. And then asking very empowering questions when we're closing is really going to seal the deal. Questions like, after 4 years of dealing with this and not being able to resolve it, what would it finally mean to get XYZ result? Who would benefit from that? Because usually it's not just them, it's their entire family. If you knew with 100% certainty that you would get XYZ result at the end of this, would it be worth the $5,500 investment? For you to finally feel XYZ result, wouldn't it be worth getting over this little bit of fear or uncertainty? If showing up and following our program solves XYZ problem that you've been dealing with for the last 4 years, would you do it? So what's actually coming up for you? And then they're going to tell you their real objection. If you are ready to become a top tier closer who's making $10, $20, $30,000 a month, I am here to help. My Sales Shark Academy teaches women a beautiful blend of feminine and also masculine qualities so that you can learn the skill of sales and help people change and transform their lives. My students are landing jobs where they are making commissions of $10,000 to $20,000. And when they came to me, they were complete beginners or they had different kind of sales roles. High ticket sales and online sales is a specific, pretty nuanced skill that every closer must learn and understand. But once you get it, you get it. And you start to realize that all the objections and a lot of things that people say is very, very similar. So when you become good at sales, it's kind of like something clicks and then all of a sudden you're off to the races and you're going to start hitting those $10,000 months. So click the button below. We can book a free strategy call together to see if you're a good fit. And I also want you to watch this next video where I break down my $30 million sales script that I use on every single call that I take.